And Ian, welcome to the Involve program.
Thank you.
So good to have you here. And you are an author, right?
Yes.
You author a book series called The Boy Named Ash. And you have two books right now, and I'm looking at both of them. One of them is Ash Gets a Girlfriend and The Science Fair. But first, tell us about Ian. Tell us your background.
Well, my dad, he actually wrote a book, but it never got published. And I wrote a little story, like mimicking his first book. And a couple days after that, I wrote The Boy Named Ash.
And you got interested in writing. You really like to write, huh?
Yes. After my first book, I loved it already.
All right. And you're also helping other folks get their books and stuff published too, right? You have your own publishing company, right?
Yes, Justice Publishing.
And when did you start that?
A couple weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago? Well, that's pretty cool. And already got an adult author too, huh? Signed to publish her books, right? And what does she write? Do you know?
She actually wrote a cute story called The Star's Wish.
All right. But let's talk about your books. Tell us about The Boy Named Ash.
Well, The Boy Named Ash he's kind of like Diver Wimpy Kid, but he's just this kid that wears a blue tie and bow tie and cover bun, and he goes to school every day. He's basically just like a normal kid, except he actually gets all of his friends into like sticky situations.
Gets them into trouble?
Yes.
Well, that sounds like fun. And is that not like you?
Yes.
Is The Boy Named Ash based on you?
A little bit.
A little bit. You don't get people in trouble though, do you? For 11 years old, you're kind of a smart guy, man, I tell you. Got your own writing books and got your own publishing company already. Where can these books be found?
On our website, theboynamedash.com, or Justice Publishing.
All right. Are you looking for more authors?
Yes. We're helping other people publish their books. And we're actually dedicating the books. From now on, the first book we didn't really, but the second book and all the rest of the books are going to be dedicated to families who lost their daughter or son, or like they just have.
Well, that's great. That's great that you're doing that. Tell me, how did you get the idea of Boy Named Ash? How did you come up with that?
There was this girl in my fourth grade class that actually was writing a little story on paper, and actually my name was Ash in the story.
Yeah.
So that's where.
So this is really mostly about yourself, as we said earlier, right? And now, are these names that used in these books, are they fictional or are they names of real people?
Well, two of them are. But Emma and Caroline, I actually got them offline. So
I'm looking here. You've also got activities and stuff in the back of book one. And is it in the back of book two? I haven't looked at it yet. But
no.
What are these activities? Like little extra things for folks to do? Or?
Yeah, it's just coloring and word searches.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So good to see a young man. You've got a future in this. And how many books are going to be in this series, A Boy Named Ash? Are you planning on another series of books?
Actually, I've been thinking about this for a while. I actually want to create a big chapter book without any pictures. But I don't know. I haven't really.
You haven't really come up with that yet. Now I'm going to ask you this, if you have an answer for it. Are you plan anytime putting your books in local libraries, like in local elementary school libraries, or the Smith Library, or the Washington County Library?
Yes, we're gonna try, and we're also working with Books A Million to get my books on the shelf there.
So That's awesome. That's awesome. What do you 11 years old? What do you like to do general? I mean, you like any 11-year-old, you like to eat pizza and play video games and stuff like that. You was telling me about a hobby that you have.
Oh yeah. My biggest hobby that I do is collecting Pokemon cards. Like
Mhm.
they just every time I open a pack, I'm just really nervous because sometimes I don't get anything good, but sometimes I really do, and when I do, I kind of get all excited.
Yeah, that's just like any 11-year-old, right?
Yeah.
You're into video games too.
Yes, actually, me and my stepbrother played this one game that we love.
What's that?
It's called Super Meat Boy.
Uh-huh.
And actually, I've I have beat so many levels in that game. Actually, we're on the last level to beat the whole entire game.
Well, that's fun. That's cool. Is there any? Hey, you can make a game out of this. Make a game out of your books. You ever thought about that?
No.
That's something.
Yeah.
You're also interested in hopefully making these into a movie someday, right?
Yes. I actually want to really make it into like a movie, like with actual people, like not animated.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'll be good with either one.
Is this something that you've always wanted to do?
Well, I actually didn't get. I actually wrote a lot of stories on the computer, just little ones. And when I wrote The Boy Named Ash, I called my dad up there, and then he read it, and he said it was a really cute story, and he was going to try to publish it.
Well, I never thought about this, but when I was your age, I used to write, stories about me and my friends in the neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah, and they were real fun stories, and I used to enjoy doing that. But I never thought about taking those and getting them published. I wished I could find them. I don't know where they're at now, but I was interested in doing that at one time. You've been on a lot of news shows, right?
Yes, I've actually been on 9.
9 news shows. Can you remember what they were?
I'm pretty sure like 4 were WYCB.
WCYB.
Yes, and I actually had about 3 live ones.
Well, that's cool. And you're looking maybe to go on a nationally syndicated TV show too, right?
Yes.
Like Ellen Show or something like that.
Yes.
They have a program called, or they did have Little Big Shots. A friend of mine from Piney Flats, Tennessee, Carson Peters. You look exactly like him. Carson's about 13 though.
Really?
And he was on Little Big Shots, and he's from Piney Flats, Tennessee, which is around here. Fiddle player, but I hope you go far in this. And your dad is helping you out big time, isn't he?
Yeah.
He works a lot for you, doesn't he?
Mhm. He actually goes to work a lot, but actually he comes home and he gets on his computer and we start working on my book every day after he gets home.
Well, that's all right. Now, where does the boy named Ash? Where's he supposed to be living at?
In this town called Duffield, the house is actually a real house that we
Mhm.
looked at such a long time ago, and we really wanted to get, but we knew that the people before when they came and look at it, they were gonna get it, but my mom and my dad stayed there for about 2 hours, and we just went. It was a huge house. My dad said it looks like a candy factory.
A candy factory. Well, that's cool. You have big dreams, don't you?
Yes.
And you want to help other folks. You also want to work with other youth that's interested in writing too. If other youth would want to get a hold of you, how can they do that? Are you willing to go to schools and talk to other schools in the region and talk to classes about writing?
Yeah, actually, my dad is working on getting me apparently in every single school that he can find, like around Abington.
Mm-hmm. So That would be something great for you to do. And what's the name of the publishing company again?
Justice Publishing.
Justice Publishing. They're in Abingdon, right?
Yes.
And I tell you what, you're going to go far
Thank
with
you.
this book series. Do you have a third book in this series coming out? Or?
Yeah, I'm actually in the middle of writing ideas down on it now. It's called The Ash, the Mayor, and the Magician.
Mm-hmm. So I want a copy of that too.
Yeah, it's
And-
not out yet. But I also have this other book that I want to write. It's called Toby and Tim.
What is Toby and Tim? Tell us about that.
Well, it's this, it's these two aliens that come down to Earth, and they're just looking around, and then people find those two aliens, and they try to go up, but they caught. I'm pretty sure it was Toby down there, and Tim had to fly off, and then tell all the other aliens that they took Toby, and then they come down, and then they start war.
Wow. So folks can go to theboynamedash.com, right?
Yes.
And find out all about you and find out how they can get a hold of you.
Yes, and they can also see my events that are coming up or past.
Okay. Well, Ian, I wish you luck in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. Ian Justice with us on the Involve program.